So,
Okay.
can you tell me, a little bit about what you do and your main interest right now?
Awesome. Well, I'm Kelly Wagner. I'm publisher of Edge Magazine, but that's just one of the fantastic little things I get to play in. We're a 30-year-old print magazine, and then we have our digital platforms and social media and all that fun stuff. And then I lead experiences of retreats and events locally and then also across the country.
Tell me about your last trip, your last
Y-
adventure.
Yes. So spiritual tourism is really growing.
Okay.
People really, when they in different communities, when they want to go, and they don't want to just go sit by the beach anymore. They don't just want to go to a casino. They really want to have purpose. People really discovering their why and their purpose is really something that I think is bubbling up in the energy of the world right now. So we decided to go to Mount Shasta, which is one of the most powerful places on the planet, and I'd heard about it, and I thought it was kind of like I don't wanna say gimmicky or, like, whatever, but I was like, "Okay." And you get there and you're like, "Oh, hello, Mount Shasta. How are you?"
Oh,
So,
God.
we led, 20 beautiful people from all over the country to a transformational experience in Mount Shasta, and we just went into flow, and we had opportunities popping up, so really got to know locals, and they were like, "You need to meet this restaurant, and you need to go have a kirtan, and would you like to have a sound bath? And let's do a sweat lodge." And we're all like, "Yes, yes, yes." So we showed up at the mountain with 20 people and said yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
how
The
did people find you?
the Edge magazine, so that is the print, and then also our black books of I partnered with a beautiful breath facilitator by the name of Terry Peterson with Connecting Spirit, and we just basically, like, turned the light on and said, "Hey." We had a lady in Maui that had her Edge magazine, and she's like, "I need to go." And then we had another lady that wrote an article, and the ad was there, and she's like, "I need to go." And then she just people that we met, and it was just beautiful how the right people showed up, and we had 2 cancellations the week before, and 2 people filled their spot immediately, and they were, like, had to be there. It was amazing. It's saying yes to opportunities and going with the flow of the energy.
So, you just went with lodging and then you organically grew your experience? Or did you start with a framework or
Yes. Our lodging canceled 3 days beforehand, a retreat center, and we found new places to stay, and then our chef canceled 24 hours, before the event, and we just found a lady who happened to be a medicine woman, and she did the sweat lodge, and she sang by the waters, and she was local, and it was just gorgeous. It was really surrendering and just throwing it up in the air and then just going, and it was amazing. Yeah, that's an experience, and we're just wanting to do different ones all over the place now.
lovely.
Isn't that fun? You're
Yeah.
just like, "I wanna
Yeah.
go."
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Experiences are I mean, we don't we don't want topical anymore. I think
Mm-mm.
with all the disconnect from the past few years, having those connections is just so necessary and strong and powerful and to be able to have trust in the organizers, um, that's that's beautiful.
We had a lady that her name was Judith, and she's 82, and she seemed a little apprehensive because we were in the mountains, and we were in this and that, and she really was very clear and had her boundaries ahead of time and said, "You know, this is how I'll participate," and we completely embraced it. And then I remember we did a rose healing ceremony, and I was up there with the roses. Yes, I do rose healing, and it's just, "Oh," like, right? And then I look out of the corner of my eye, and there's Judith. And I'm like, "Come on, Judith." And it was just lovely, and this group, they self-started, a text group. We've already had integration dinners and meetings, they're in it to win it, and it's really interesting, and a lot of people will talk about Sedona, or they'll talk about Glastonbury, or they'll talk about other different places that you can go, and we're starting locally, and then we're gonna expand from there.
Oh,
And I get to do it through the Edge magazine, which is, like, our whole life, and I get to work with my husband, and these contributors from all over the world, and I get to interview people that I would never get the opportunity to do so, and I've never been a publisher, and we have a magazine, and it's just, like, it's unfolding in this beautiful way, using energy, using guidance, and just trusting.
beautiful. How long have you been working with the magazine?
5 years this year.
Okay. Did you all start it?
No, so we're the third owners.
Okay.
And Edge used to bring Edge was a really big part of the metaphysical community since,
Mhm.
like, 1992. They did events, and then just through COVID and different owners, it just kind of started to get really quiet. And then I was a VP of marketing working a big girl job, and during COVID and the pandemic, and things unfolded, and it jumped into buying a magazine with my husband. My husband's our graphic designer, web designer, and then I do a lot of the other things, and then we have partner, that help us with other roles.
Did you always have you been into the metaphysical world for a long time? Did it run in parallel with your VP job? Or is that something new for you?
Great question. About 20 years, been playing for my own personal growth and health and all of that. But it was interesting. Every job I went to, I was like the office that had the essential oils and the lighting and the safe space and the line out the door of everybody wanted counseling. And the presidents of the company always wanted to have me next to them because they always felt really great and safe when I was around. And so I utilized it that way. And intuition and marketing's a gift, right? So I've always been using it, and now I get to live it.
Nice. Are you all focusing on these connection events, or is there a specific focus, or what's your goal with the edge?
I love that question because I'm working on it in real time right now.
Okay.
So I was just in a documentary for entrepreneurship, and what's the blessing to the business, but it's also the complexity of the business is everything feeds together. So the magazine feeds the interviews, feeds the retreats, feeds the experiences, but it's where do you focus and how do you focus? And print is not dead. Print is extremely vibrant. People keep their magazines. If they're missing an issue, they contact us. If it hits the street slates, we get phone calls. Like, it's really passionate how print is still well, screen fatigue really gets people.
Yes.
So that sacredness. So one of the first things that we did outside of our design and my husband being an amazing graphic designer is we switched to glossy paper. And it took it from that wonky kind of
Textured.
textured
Mhm.
to glossy, and it's almost like we're in the big kids room now. We're at the nice table, and the glossy paper has really made a beautiful difference, but it's easier to read. Our readers are a little bit skew 40 plus, and it's also prettier, and that's what really, really helps with the magazine.
Where can we find your magazine?
We are in 500 drop spots from Maui to Washington, D.C., and 300 of them are in the Twin City Minnesota, Wisconsin area. Edgemagazine.net, and go to magazines, and you'll see the map where everything is.
Did the magazine start in Minnesota?
It did start in Minnesota in 1992,
Right. Okay.
and they used to bring people in from all over the world for events and experiences, and we've just taken on the baton and taken it to a next level.
Do you all have a brick and mortar here in town where you host local events?
We host 4 events a year. Minneapolis is at the Delta Hotel, and then we have one this year that's gonna be coming up in 2026 in Sioux Falls. And then we have a Maple Grove Expo in Maple Grove, and then we have Art on the Edge, and Art on the Edge is this fusion between art and metaphysics, and it's outside, and it's at Father Hennepin Park adjacent, right outside the Stone Arch Bridge, and we had this year was our first year to that new location, and we had over 2,000 people attend.
Wow. Now it sounds like a lot to be doing yourself. So do you have like practitioners who come in, event coordinators who come in to share their businesses, or do you support small businesses, or um, yeah, I'm wondering, do people reach out to you to say, hey, how can I be a part of your event? How do you connect with people that way, or is that something that you do?
Yes. All of the above.
Okay.
So they can reach out to events at twoguysintheknow.com, and they can get some more information on becoming a vendor. You can also contact me, Kelly, at edgemagazine.net. And on our socials, we put a call for vendors all over the place.
Okay.
Our events are some of the larger ones in the Midwest when it comes to vendor shows. So a lot of shows will be in like that 30 plus vendors. We're in that 50 to 75, approaching 100 vendors. So when you come to one of our shows, you are supporting at least a minimum of 50 small business owners.
Okay. And you get some really great shopping opportunities.
It's like Disney World. It's like you can't go to Target for all this stuff. So it's amazing.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. And then you're on a national scale too, so you get quite the diversity of the skill sets. So that's actually exciting for somebody who would want to attend to find a practitioner or to find an event. Um, wow, I'm just that sounds incredible
Well,
and a lot of work.
it is a lot of work, and I also am on the cover board, which is the Coalition of Visionary Resources, so I'm able to go and see what's going on in Los Angeles in the holistic community, or I was just in Raleigh, I'm going to Boston. I mean, so I'm all over the place checking out what other places are doing, not only in our community, but also different communities, and, like, what's up and coming, which
Okay.
is really, really interesting. A new thing that we're bringing in is AI with integrity. How do we play with that? And that's really fascinating. And we also want to educate our business owners on, and we're turning for 2026 is okay, you signed up for a show. Now what? It's not just put your crystals on a table and then just hope someone will walk by and spend $1,000. But it's what are you doing ahead of time? How are you promoting yourself? Day of, how are you making connections? How are you working? How are you selling? What does your booth look like? Is it clean? Is it simple? Is it inviting? And then post show, what are you doing with those names? What are you doing with those connections? How are you following up? How are you giving them an offer? Really doing it at the business side. Whether it is your side gig as just a fun thing that fills your cup up, or it's your real business and what you do and how you bring your revenue stream. And I don't know if everybody looks at it that way. So my partner Eric
Mm.
and I, that's our initiative for 2026.
Do you just give people a checklist or do you also offer business coaching?
Both.
Okay. And that would be reaching out to you and connecting with you how again?
Absolutely. My email address is Kelly, Kelly, at edgemagazine.net or edgemagazine.net. Pick up your Edge magazine as well. We can mail it to your home. So
Okay.
we're still on the small enough scale where we hand mail all of our subscribers.
Wow.
And we put the intention and we put love into all of them. I actually got in trouble at the post office because I was writing notes on all the
Oh,
envelopes that I signed. So I'm not allowed to do that anymore. And I actually had a couple people call and they're like, "I miss my Kelly messages." And I'm like, "I got scolded by the post office."
can you write it on the inside or
I had you read so now I'm doing Post-it notes on the inside.
okay. Oh my
Right.
gosh. Wonderful.
It's fun.
Wow. You're I mean, just it's amazing, like, the expanse of what you're doing and how you're infusing, everything that you do with like, on a global scale and bringing new ideas to people. It's such a rich resource.
Thank you.
Um, if somebody's having a hard time in either business or personally, is there something that you would recommend for them?
Well, subscribe to the Edge magazine, reach out, but then we also in the middle of our magazine, we have our directory, and it is a curated directory of really heart-centered people with a lot of different gifts and abilities. And I get calls all the time like, "Hey, I wanna see a psychic. Who should I talk to?" And I'm like, "Okay, tell me a little bit more," because it's not everybody's the same and with the same different needs. And what's really funny, I line my directory up almost like oh, this sounds terrible, like at the police station where they're like, right? And I line everybody up and they'll just start glowing to me. So I'm like, okay, try this person, or this person. Or I always have a magazine on me and a Sharpie. And if I meet someone and they're like, I'm really having a hard time sleeping. Okay, well, have you ever thought about breath work? Have you ever thought dream therapy? Have you ever thought about this? Or I need some essential oils or natural products. Seriously, I'm walking around with a magazine and a Sharpie, and I'm constantly connecting people. I'm a very much a connector,
Love that.
and it's fun, like, all the time. I'm like, "Ooh, you need to meet this person. You need to meet this person," and it's fun, and it's starting to come back to me, so I'm getting people with larger black books than I do are saying, "Hey, you need to be connected." A great example is Deb Drummond out of Canada, found out I was going to Mount Shasta, and she's like, "You've gotta talk to Heather." So she had an email sent and a text, and Heather and I were on the phone within one day, and she was a local giving me the local down of just, like, what I needed to get from the restaurants that we should to don't go here, start with this, do this, from the locals' point of view. So it's that connection, it's that networking and being of service, and then it just comes back to you as well.
It sounds like maybe getting into your events might be a little competitive.
It's fun. We do have discernment with that as well,
Okay.
because we'll get, like, for example, a whole bunch of crystal, or people wanting to sell crystals, and we do cap it because we want everyone to have a successful day, but then we'll also say, "Okay, what's something you might have?" So, one person might say, "I'm just gonna sell opals." "Okay, sell opals, come on in." And then we really try to create those relationships and really support our those that support us.
Lovely. Do you have an ask if you need anything right now? How we can support the magazine or your print or your online media?
That is a great question, and thank you for that. Like and subscribe. Go to our channels. It's magazine.edge or the Edge Network. Subscribe to the magazine because it's my husband and I, and we're a small business and we're bootstrapping it. We do not have any loans. We're doing whatever comes in is what goes out. And for the last 5 years, we've been just reinvesting it. Come to our events, attend, be curious, and support our small businesses that support us.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.